Hello, my fellow anthropology classmates. I hope you're doing well this morning, afternoon, or night. I'm not really sure when you're watching this, but I hope you're doing well regardless. As some of you may know or remember, my name is Stephanie Williams, and I did my project on how New Year's resolutions influence our lifestyle habits, particularly in the realm of day-to-day health, which includes things like healthy and clean eating and working out. So to start things off, here's a funny picture to kick off the presentation. So as I began this class, I really had no clue where to start and what the focus of my project should be. It wasn't really until I was talking to my roommates about my workout habits and eating habits that I thought to study exercise habits that all of us seem to have once the new year has passed. One thing led to another, and as I became more and more fascinated with it, it turned into what keeps people more motivated to keep working out after they make these New Year's resolutions that revolve around leading healthier lifestyles. Every year, we claim that this is going to be our new year, and this is the new year and the new me. We make resolutions about going to the gym, reading more, and the like. Everyone starts their years off with the best of intentions, but that doesn't always change the fact that many people will fall off the resolution wagon after a couple of days, weeks, or even months. So for this class, my abstract is as follows. For my research, I'm going to be studying my 4 roommates and their exercising habits. My subjects are Kevin, Albert, Allie, and Elise. 4 out of the 5 of us have set goals for ourselves since the start of the new year, all for different reasons, and the 5th has been motivated by the rest of us. I'll be interviewing my roommates about past exercise routines and healthy eating habits before beginning my research. I'll take note of things like their goals for the future, bad habits that might hinder their success, and how they plan on making this way of life stick. With this in mind, it led me to a couple questions I wanted to address while doing some of my research, under the umbrella of what factors may motivate or demotivate someone to work out once they get back to their daily lives after the holiday. And they are as follows. What kept each subject motivated? Will this project influence their level of dedication? What steps are they taking to keep up with their exercising habits? As they go, do they see any changes in their everyday life? But why do this research? For me personally, I wanted to see and have a better understanding of the different factors that keep people motivated or engaged in their workouts. I've also always been interested in understanding what makes different lifestyles that people lead possible. One example of this dichotomy is someone that goes the extra mile to get a short 5-minute workout in after work, compared to the couch potato whose physical capacity extends to walking between the TV and the fridge. For my research, I utilized the people whom I share a house with. I live in the Tweaker part of Eureka, California. My house is close to the Subaru dealership and the pawn shop off the 101 North. It's the kind of neighborhood that you stay inside your house once you get home. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house. 3 of my housemates, whose names are Allie, Kevin, and Albert, have their own rooms, while I share a room with a girl named Elise. But we'll get to them in a minute. Most of my observations have taken place in the living room and kitchen area. Basically, and most of our common space has been where I've conducted all of these surveys and observations. The first participant I'm going to tell you about is Elise. She's the youngest, and she's also my roommate. She's 19, she's a history major, and she has a lot of so she has a pretty dense course load with all of her reading. She was unemployed for the entire semester. She has little to no alcohol consumption during a normal week, and her only goal at the beginning of the semester was to lose 20 pounds. The next participant I'm going to tell you about is Allie. She's 24, she's a fisheries major, and she just transitioned from being a marine biology major. She has a pretty moderate course load, but she is a lab assistant for one of her fish classes, which keeps her pretty busy. She has little to moderate alcohol consumption during a normal week, but she constantly drinks things like diet soda. Her only goal at the beginning of the semester was to lose weight, but there is no specific number to go along with that goal. The next participant I'm going to tell you about is Kevin. He's 22. He is an environmental management and protection major and has a pretty dense course load. He constantly has speeches and essays that he needs to be prepping for, as well as 8 a.m. classes. He's also a busser at Bear River Casino, which he's had that job since about February. During a normal week, he'll have a moderate to heavy alcohol consumption, and he supplements his workouts with protein shakes. Other than that, no other supplements. He doesn't use any other supplements. His only goal at the beginning of the semester was to look good, feel good, and be good. The last and final roommate I'm going to tell you about is my roommate Albert. He's 23. He's a geography major and has a pretty moderate course load. He was unemployed, but he was enrolled in his capstone, so that kept him pretty busy, and he was constantly working on his paper and thesis and everything. He actually was one of the presenters at the Geographic Society conference this past weekend. He has a pretty moderate to heavy alcohol consumption during a normal work week, and just like Kevin, he supplements most of his workouts with a protein shake, as well as a protein shake in the morning. His only goal at the beginning of the semester was weight loss. Again, no specific number, just weight loss. Most of my roommates wanted to lose weight, which isn't that surprising given that a lot of people correlate health with the number on the scale, even though that number can be grossly misleading. With these goals in mind, and after asking each roommate about their current eating workout habits, I came up with a couple predictions. I believe that Kevin and Albert would help keep each other motivated for a couple reasons. They were workout buddies, and they both had memberships at one of our local Eureka gyms. On the other hand, Allie and Elise didn't have any real motivators that would influence me to believe that they would become health nuts of any kind. They also didn't have a very extensive workout history, besides Elise playing organized team sports when she was younger. For my methods, I mostly utilize observations and surveys. My observations lasted about 10 hours altogether, but they were usually just like quick conversations I would have every day with Kevin before he went to the gym or after I got home from work. So I kind of just added all that time together to about 10 hours. My surveys, on the other hand, were conducted monthly, and it was just like they were pretty in-depth check-ins about how they felt about their own personal goals, how they felt about their weight and everything like that. And these interviews would usually last about 15 to 20 minutes, so that adds up to about 4 or 5 hours altogether. There were a couple hiccups that I had while I was doing my research. At first, Elise wasn't sure if she actually wanted to participate or not. When I asked for a final head count for this project, and after much reassurance that she could stop at any time, she agreed to participate. Another issue I had was the amount of actual observations I could feasibly do. I'm sorry, but I wasn't about to follow my roommates to the gym and make sure that they were actually on the treadmill working out or going and pumping all that iron or anything like that, especially when it was at 6 in the morning. One of my biggest worries while conducting this research, though, was the fact that me living in this house with my research subjects as well as the scope of this project might have influenced what they did or didn't do. What I mean by that is that I think that there's a huge possibility that this project influenced how often some people worked out, because I knew that recording the information and with that scrutiny in mind, it might influence their decisions, but more on that later. During the course of the semester, the main focus shifted from everyone to mostly Kevin. This had to do with a lot of things, such as Allie and Elise pretty much stopped doing anything, and then Albert ended up moving to San Jose to go start working for Apple. Another shift in the focus of my research went from workout habits to all over health, which started including their eating habits as well. There's also a minute that Elise did a soup diet, which was supposed to go on for a week, but it only lasted for 3 days until she called it quits. To start wrapping this up, I had two main factors that I believe influenced the level of motivation people had. These factors are ego and time. Ego is defined by Merriam-Webster Dictionary as the opinion that you have of yourself, but I go a step further and think that this also influences what you do, which goes back to the point I was trying to make before of me living in the same house as all these people. I observed Kevin's ego a lot given that he became my main focus in this research and the way that it influenced him towards going or not going to the gym. I've had conversations with him after a few days of not working out, and when I inquire as to why he hasn't been, he gets a little defensive and then we'll go to the gym more consistently. I think that having Albert here also helped play into his ego because there was an encouragement for him to continue on a path to better health. Another big factor is time. In all honesty, it takes way more effort to be healthy. It is so much easier to grab a sandwich from Subway or go to Burger King, but if you have your ego telling you that you should go home and make a healthier alternative, it's really hard to argue with that. There are plenty of tips and tricks to stay motivated, such as having a buddy like Albert and Kevin. There are also a whole bunch of weird ones that I found while doing further research into this topic, such as if you aren't sure if you need to go to the gym, put on a tight pair of pants, go sit at the end of your bed, and if you don't like something you see, just go work out. The biggest one, though, is have a lot of things that keep you motivated. One example of this is that I personally have several different playlists that I'll play while working out that have different goals with them in mind that help me keep on pushing. And just to leave you with some passing thoughts while doing this research, I realized that there are a lot more factors working against you rather than with you. It's not just a 2-week diet, it's a lifestyle shift, and it's not overnight or easy, and it takes work and dedication. But with the right kind of motivation, anyone can do it. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day.